Speaking of guard play, Tyler, you've been on this bandwagon. I think since the first show that I did with you, you've been all over Marquise Noel. You've been talking him up. You've been hyping him up. You've been telling us that he's your favorite player in college basketball to watch. And kids from Harlem, we saw Rucker Park Marquise Noel come out tonight. He had the behind-the-back pass for a dunk. He had a between-the-legs pass. He made a dude fall and then hit a three. Like, he finished with 27 points, 9 assists, 3 steals on 7 for 14 shooting and sent home the Kentucky Wildcats. We're going to let you give your Kentucky eulogy here in a second. But before we do, hey, look, you got to give your boys flowers, man. That was an unbelievable performance today.
Man, I'm telling people that this kid, Marquise Noel, can hoop, and he's a competitor. And when I watched the game, not only did he score, but some of these passes he had, getting his teammates involved, I just absolutely love it. Also, the fact that he is a short guard and how tough he is. And a lot of people doubt him. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, transferred portal, typical New York mentality. I absolutely love watching him play. I love watching him light it up and pass and getting his teammate involved. He just keeps on getting better and better.
He's impossible to keep in front. Guys, some of these shots too, and the fact that he's hitting shots consistently is the hardest part about guarding somebody like that, because he's so freaking fast, but you can't leave him alone. And he pulled a couple guys. I mean, groundbreaking stuff, like pulling up off the dribble, going left off a ball screen. You can't play low. And the problem is, if you try to play drop coverage against that, like Sheboy tried to do early in the game, forget it. Like, he's going to be able to line it up, check the win, and knock it down. And on the flip side of that, when you come out, it opens up the roller. And the thing is they weren't playing with a traditional 5-man for the most of the game. They were playing Naquan Tomlin there. So as soon as he gets it there, he can make something happen immediately. And then if you try to trap him, he's so fast. Lance Ware tried to trap him out of half court. You can forget it. He just dribbles around the slower guy and then finds that alley-oop at the end of the game. Oh, she was sexy. She was sexy. And I think sexy is a weird word to use when talking about basketball. But all that being said, it was sexy. He threw that thing, no look. It was awesome. Capped off the game. That game to me, guys, it felt like an Elite Eight game. Didn't feel like around a 32 game. Both of those teams, high level, big bodies, played hard, like fun game to watch.
Made up for the fact that Kansas State missed their first 13 3-pointers, and Keontae Johnson did not have a typical Keontae Johnson game. Real quick, T.O., Tyler, I want you guys to both hit on this, about 30 seconds. What is the key for Kansas State if they're going to be able to get past Michigan State and then get past whoever comes out of the other side of that bracket, and they can get to Houston? What do they have to do?
Go ahead, Tiki.
Well, I think they've got to get some contribution from somebody besides Noel and Keontae Johnson. Maybe Sills steps through. He had some big buckets today. So it's got to be somebody else.
Guys, I think they're going to have to compete on the boards a little bit more. I think, they are a tough team, but they were out rebounded 44-25. That doesn't help things. Another thing is Kansas State was able to open this thing up when they were there, whenever they were able to hit shots. They started out 0 for 10 from 3. Mm-hmm. When you play against Michigan State, those dudes swarm to the ball. Those extra passes, you got to be able to knock down shots, and it can't just be Noel. Like, you have to be able to spread it around, open up the floor. They have to compete on the boards, because we all know Michigan State loves the boards. And then they have to knock down shots, which they couldn't do today until the end.
Today's episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play college basketball pick'em, where you can get a little extra sweat during March Madness and win real cash prizes simply by picking player stats in this weekend's games. In Pick'em, all you do is predict whether a player will go higher or lower on Underdog's projected totals, whether that's points, rebounds, whatever. For example, if you're like me and you think Zach Edey is going to go nuts in this tournament, pick higher on his points projection, add up to 4 more picks, and if you hit them all, you can win 20 times your money on a single game. Underdog's slick mobile app is easy enough that dummies like Jeff Goodman have even figured it out. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app and use the code FIELD, FIELD, and Underdog will match your deposit up to $100. Now is the time to get in on the madness. So remember, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code FIELD.